to some movement tonight. I'm going to do some movement tonight, and then we'll do some meditation practice following. So for this, you can be seated or standing. And I'm just going to answer a quick question, and then we'll begin our practice. So to begin, we're just going to take a couple of deep breaths here. So a nice deep inhale and a long exhale. A nice deep inhale and a long exhale. Just checking in to see what's present in the body right now. And these movements can be done seated or standing. I'm going to stand. And the one thing I like people to remember is when we're doing movement, to make sure you're moving for your body. I'm just going to tilt the camera up here. So we might arrive at different places, but just really tuning into what's present in your body at this time. And I'm going to stand with my legs hip distance apart. I'm also going to make sure I'm not locking my knees. And as I check in with the posture, I'm going to feel those feet grounding down on the floor. If you're seated, making sure your feet are supported on the ground and that your spine is as upright as it can be. And also we're going to notice if where our head and shoulders and hips are. So sometimes we kind of tilt forward or we can tilt back. So even if you're seated, just making sure your torso is lined up with the hips and the head is lined up with that as well. And I'm just going to take a deep inhale and raise the arms up gently here. And we might all land in different places. Some of you might stop here, others might stop here, but I'm going to go all the way up. And then I'm going to gently look up at the ceiling. I'm taking a nice big breath here. I'm going to push the air down now on my exhale. Inhale, the arms are going to go up. Again, you can land wherever up is for you. Another deep breath here. I'm going to gently look up at the ceiling. And on the next exhale, pushing the air out. I'm going to let somebody in. Good evening and welcome. Just doing some simple movement right now, and it can be done seated or standing, so join me wherever you feel comfortable, and there's no rush. Just doing some movement, and again, we're just meeting our body where it's at, so if you want to stay seated, that's fine. I am standing. And again, I'm going to inhale and raise the arms up, and it's a nice, gentle, slow movement. And on the exhale, looking up at the ceiling. Another nice deep inhale. This exhale, pushing the air down. We'll do this 2 more times. Nice, gentle inhale. Arms raising up. Again, you can land wherever. Wonderful. And pushing down again. Raising the arms up 2 more times. Wonderful. You can look up when the hands get to the peak, pushing the air down. Last time, let's really bring the arms as high as we can, whatever feels comfortable. Wonderful. Looking up at the hands. And now one last sigh down. Wonderful. I'm going to take the right hand to the left shoulder, the right hand to the left elbow, and I'm just doing a little gentle stretch here. So the goal is no pain or strain. So just a nice gentle stretch. And again, it'll look different for each of us. So wherever you land is fine. Again, just making sure those knees are locked because we have a tendency to do that. And then I'm going to gently lower the right hand and I'm going to switch arms. So the left arm to the right shoulder, the right hand to the left elbow. And just if you want to, you can pull it gently over. Again, meeting what your body needs in this moment. Wonderful. And switching arms again, the right arm to the left shoulder and the left hand to the right elbow. And we're just pulling across here. And if it feels good, you can give yourself a pat on the back. Sometimes that helps loosen up the muscles. Wonderful. Switching arms, the left hand to the right shoulder, the right hand to the left elbow, and gently pulling. We use our arms and hands so much when we're typing, so it's nice to have some gentle stretching here. Just going to release the arms. And I'm just going to step like I'm marching a little bit. I'm going to warm up a little bit here. And if you want a little bit more abdominal work, you can bring the knees to the elbow, but you can also just keep it low. The goal here is just to get the blood and the muscles warmed up a little bit. We don't have to have a full cardio experience. But if you want a little bit more, you can put the arms to the elbows. And I have a spine injury, so I'm always very careful how high I'm going, or just really protecting that lower back and keeping that in mind when I'm moving. Wonderful. Warming up a little bit here. And I'm going to bring myself to stillness. Next, I'm going to start doing a little gentle twist, and the arms can be low or they can be high, just swinging them. Again, if anything has any pain or strain, that just means we can bring our body to stillness, really tuning into what's here. You can make this as big or small as you like. We're very lateral in our movement, so it's nice to do some side to side. Wonderful. And bringing ourselves to stillness. I'm going to do a little bit of a side stretch now. So I'm going to bring my right arm up, and wherever you land is fine. And I'm going to take it over. If it doesn't feel good, that's fine. And if you want a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring that right hip out as well. Just really feeling that nice lateral movement here. And the key here is not to collapse into our chest, but to leave the chest open. And bringing that right arm slowly down and switching to the other side. Left arm up. We can bring the hip out. Again, just feeling that gentle stretch along the arm and the side. Wonderful. And bringing that arm down, switching to the other side. And maybe this time you go over a little bit further, or the hip goes out a little bit more. Wonderful. Switching to the other side, up and over. Wonderful. And coming back to center. I'm just going to roll my wrist now. And this can be as large or small as you like. Again, our hands and our fingers do so much during the day, so it's nice to pay attention to them a little bit. And I like to move the fingers as well when I'm rolling my wrist. It's really feeling a gentle stretch in the whole hand. And we're going to reverse direction. Amazing. It feels good to stretch out the wrist and feel those fingers moving a little bit. And bringing the arms back down to stillness. Taking a moment to check in and see where the body's at. Maybe the shoulder blades have come down a little bit. Starting to feel the back loosening up. Next, we're going to do some shoulder rolls. These are going to be as big or small as you'd like. Just some nice gentle shoulder rolls. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your arms to the top of your shoulders, or else you can leave your hands at your side. Wherever you want to land is fine. You can have a little bit more movement if you would like a bigger circle. Reversing the direction here. Wonderful. And bringing the arms to stillness. I'm going to move the camera down so you can see my legs. We're just going to do some little leg movement here. So I'm going to point the right foot out and I'm going to flex it and put the foot back down on the ground. So if you have any balance issues, it's okay to hold on to a chair, but this isn't a big movement. We're just pointing the right foot, stretching it out and pointing it and bringing it in and switching to the left side. I'm pointing the left foot, I'm flexing it, I'm pointing it, and I'm bringing in. So alternating feet, point, flex, point, and bringing it in. And this is just giving us a little bit of a stretch in our foot. You can feel it when you're flexing, definitely in the calves. And then when you're pointing it, you're going to feel on the top of the foot into the shins. So I'm going to point, flex, point, and bring it in. And again, if you want a little bit more engagement, you can lift the leg higher. But again, just keeping in mind what your balance is. So just warming up the legs here. Point, flex, point, and just alternating. Wonderful. We'll do it 2 more on each side at your own speed. There's no rush. Point, flex, point, and in. Point, flex, point, and in. And now I'm just going to bend the knees a little bit, just kind of shake it out a little bit. All right. Next, I'm going to roll up on the ball of my right foot. And we're just stretching into the top of the foot here. So your toes are going to stay on the ground. If you want a little bit more stretch, you can lean into it a little bit. You should be feeling this in the ball of the foot. Again, no pain. If you have any feet issues, just doing your foot might just land right here, but just rolling it up on the foot. Wherever you land is fine. And I'm going to switch to the other side. Just going to roll that left foot up here. If I want a little bit more stretch, I can lean into it. Again, we're just really feeling into what feels good in our bodies. So wonderful. And we're going to switch back to the right foot, gently rolling up onto the ball of the foot here. You can feel your toes going into the ground. Wonderful. And then the other side, rolling up on the left foot. A little bit more stretch, just adding a little weight into it. Wonderful. Now I'm just going to do some gentle bending here, just the knee, a little gentle bend with the knees. If you want to go, if you would like to go deeper, you can. Just going to warm up the hamstrings here. And it doesn't have to be a large movement, it can be very small, whatever feels comfortable for your body. After we have been sitting all day, sometimes it's nice to feel those legs warm up a little bit. Wonderful. And slowly bring yourselves to stillness. And maybe noticing if there's a loosening up in the legs, or else maybe you're feeling the legs warming up here. And next, I'm just going to go side to side. So I'm just going to step and tap my feet here. And you can make this a large step. It's just going side to side. Again, we're just loosening up these legs muscles. Wonderful. And just getting the heart elevated a little bit, not too much. Again, it's nice to have the side motion after we've been sitting. And when we walk, we go laterally, so it's nice to have this motion as well. And I'm going to bring the body to stillness. And just feeling in, giving the legs a little wiggle. And taking a nice deep breath here. Rooting down into the ground, feeling that connection of the floor underneath the feet. Wonderful. I'm going to bring the hands back down to the side. I'm going to move the camera again, excuse me. I'm just doing some gentle neck movement here. I'm going to bring the right ear to the right shoulder. And this doesn't have to be a large movement either. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring the right hand up to the head and let it naturally weigh down if that feels good, or else you can just stay with the arm down, whatever feels comfortable for you. Again, we don't want to strain these muscles. We're just giving them a nice hello and warming them up a little bit here. And we can release the arm if that was up and bringing the head to center and taking the left ear to the left shoulder or the opposite, whatever you have here. If you'd like a little bit more stretch, just bringing that arm up. Wonderful. And you should feel this along the side of your neck. Just a nice motion of feeling that gentle stretch. And the head back to center, the arms released, the right ear to the right shoulder. And bringing the arm up if you like a little bit more. Wonderful. Bringing the arm back down if it's up, and bringing the left ear to the left shoulder or opposite side, wherever we land. If you'd like, you can bring the arm up. Excellent. And bringing that hand back down here. Next, I'm going to, sorry, I think somebody was just trying to get in. We'll see if they come back. Next, I'm going to bring the chin down, but if you have any cervical issues, I do. I just want you to bring your gaze gently to the ground, but if it's available, you can also bring the head down a little bit. If the chin goes to the chest, that's fine. Again, just really feeling a very, very gentle stretch here. So we want to make sure we're not adding any strain onto the head here. Wonderful. And bringing the head back to center. And now I'm going to bring my gaze to the ceiling. If you'd like to tilt your head back, that's fine. If not, it's fine just to bring the gaze up. And bringing the head back to center and slowly lowering down if that feels good, or just bringing the gaze gently down. Bringing the head back up to center. And if you'd like to look up, that's fine, or else you can slowly tilt your head back. And it looks a little weird, but we carry a lot of tension in our jaw. So just giving your jaw a little bit of a wiggle here. And bring yourself back to stillness and the head to center. And I'm going to do some meditation, and you can remain standing, or else you can find a seat or even lie down and just taking your time to arrive there. There's no rush. So just getting comfortable where it feels good for you for some practice. And what we did was just meditation as well, just with some movement. But this time we will add in just some stillness. So taking your time to arrive into a supported position, it can be seated or standing or even lying down, wherever it's comfortable for you to practice. Just taking this moment to tune in with our body, noticing what's here. Maybe there's a lessening of tension in the jaw and the shoulders and the face, a loosening of muscles. Really just meeting this moment where the mind and the body is. And if it feels helpful, the eyes can be gently closed, or else you can leave them open, whatever feels comfortable for you. And as we continue to transition from movement to stillness, knowing that the body might have some sensations, whether it's in the mind or physically arising, which is completely normal. And also remembering that we can return and bring our awareness to the breath or to where the body is supported underneath the seat, the feet, or the hands. And if the breath or the body is not available, we can also go to a soft sound in the room. So just bringing our awareness there. And if the eyes would like to remain open, just having a soft gaze past the screen or on the ground. And it's normal for the mind to be wandering, maybe thinking about what happened during the day or what's going to happen next. And we just meet those thoughts and say hello. They're always old friends. And then when we're ready, we just bring the awareness back to the breath or to the body being supported, or even a sound. And sometimes there's external noises in our environments. It could be family in the house, or neighbors passing by, or pets. And that is part of the practice, noticing those sounds or smells. It's an opportunity to bring the body back to the breath. I'm sorry, the mind back to the breath or the body. Just checking in and seeing if there's any areas that could be softened, maybe the jaw or the shoulders or the belly. At times, it's helpful to feel the body in its natural rhythm of breathing by placing a hand on the chest or the stomach. So that's available as well. Just noting where the mind is in this moment and gently bringing it back to the breath or to a sound or to the body. And as we move into the last few minutes of practice, you can think of the breath as a wave that starts at the top of the body and travels down all the way to the ground and beyond. And the wave can come back through the feet and travel up the body, on up to the head. And taking a couple of nice, deep, and deliberate breaths here. A nice, deep inhale. And a long exhale. A nice, deep inhale. And a nice, long exhale. And when we hear the sound of the bell as it rings 3 times, knowing that there's no rush to move or be somewhere, just slowly letting ourselves return to the external environment. And if the eyes were closed, gently opening them when you're ready. Thank you both for your practice and your patience. I'm Mary, and if there's any questions, I can hang out for a couple minutes, but I hope you can ease into your evenings and get some rest, and I appreciate your practice as well.